A second soil activity is called water and soil. So there is a little bit of prep for you as a teacher. First things first, there are two different sizes of food trays. Okay, if you notice, there's a large and a small. For this activity, you're going to want a large because you're going to be setting up two different stations. There are also metal scoops. These are called scupulas. One of these will go in each tray. Okay. You then, inside of your teacher bag, you have three different types of like soil and gravel and stuff like that. So the first thing is you have this thicker gravel, you have a sand, and then you have a clay. These larger containers, you're going to separate them out. You're going to have two with the sand and two with the larger gravel. So create two stations on each side of your room. One of those stations will have one of each with a scoop in the tray. The other preparation that you're going to want to do is those small cups that you used in germination for water. Just refill them with water because that's what they're going to need. Okay, so when you're starting the lesson, you want to have the students reflect back on the soil and the particle size. What do they remember about that? How do they then think that impacts the soil where plants live? All of that stuff. Because what we're going to do is we're going to explore three very specific soil types. So remember, you have your two stations set up, gravel and sand at each one. So you are going to give your groups of students, groups of 4 work great. You've got 3 small containers as well as a hand lens. One of the students is going to go over to a station and they are going to use the scoop, scoop up some gravel, put it in a container, and go sit down. A different student is going to take another fry tray, go over to the sand, take a scoop, put it down, go sit down. They're going to be using their hand lens to look specifically at the sand and the gravel. Now, there's a third tray. Why is there a third tray? Because there is a little bag of clay. So you're going to go around and you're just going to use a little, grab a scupula, or if you have a spooner, and do a tiny little amount of clay into that third one. The clay is powdery, so do be careful with that. And have them take a look at the different particle size up close with that hand lens. Okay. After the students get the opportunity to look and feel, have them feel the difference between the soils, you're going to explain to them that you're going to do a water test and you're going to show them an example first. So you are going to take a tube and make sure you fill it up about leaving an inch, 3/4 of an inch at the top. You're going to use clay first. Okay. You're then going to grab a pipette and you're going to get a bottle, and you're going to tell the students this is exactly what they're going to do. And the whole goal is to time how long it takes for the water to get from the top to the bottom. Now, what we'll do is we'll put this in the top. Now, clay takes a very long time for the water to get down to the bottom. So during this time, go around and walk around so that all the students can see that yes, the water is going down, but it's going down very slowly. Feel free to add another drop if you would like. Okay, most likely you'll have to set this to the side and let it run while the students are doing their others. So now talk about, okay, well, what do you think about, we see it's running slow. What do you think about the sand, and what do you think about the gravel? This is the point where you're going to give each group 2 tubes and they're going to get to test it on their own. So they should test one at a time. If they need to go get more of the sample from the stations you set up, let them, but have them use what's in front of them first. Once again, they're going to fill it up with about 1 inch at the top, take the pipette, and then use a timer to time how long it goes from the top to the bottom. Okay, so that's what we're doing with the other samples. Once the students have tested all of the soils and you have it recorded down, have a discussion about that. How did that flow? How did it go? And discuss it as a whole. Once again, on our sheet, we have some key points that you can point out with the gravel, the sand, and the clay. Now, have them look back at their drawing from the soil analysis activity and ask them, you know, out of this, which one did we not test? And they should be able to tell you silt, okay? Now, what they're going to do is they're going to make a prediction as what they think silt would be like based on the particle size between sand, clay, and gravel, right? They should be able to make that inference of how water would move in silt. Okay. Now that they have a better understanding of that, okay, think about plants and what do they think when it comes to soil the best mixture would be, right? And what's great is it all depends on what type of plant they're talking about, right? All plants need different type, but as a whole, okay, we need soil, plants, and it's even right here. It's a nice mixture of that sand, that silt, that clay, all of it. It's a nice mixture. And a lot of time we say that that is loam, L-O-A-M, loam, okay? So the very last part of this activity is you're going to hand them a brand new tube and you're going to tell them to get some of their soil sample that we got from outside. Remember, you took an adventure, that's where they did their analysis from. And you're going to look at their drawing and they're going to look here and they are going to give you an example of how long it's going to take. Why? Because of how, the mixture of the percentages and stuff like that. Hey, there was a lot of clay, so it's going to take a long time to flow through. All that type of stuff. They should be able to give you a reasoning behind that. Then let them test it out and see what they think. So overall, lots of really great hands-on activities. And we recommend doing the seeds and the plants first and then transitioning into the soils. But it's completely up to you how you'd like to do it. When it comes to the soils, though, you have to do the soil analysis first so that they can use their drawing to then do the water.